Hey everyone, my name is Kumo and this is my reaction to the 9th episode of Houseki no Kuni. So, in the last episode, we had two big things really. We had Fos go to the birthplace of the gems to get a new pair of arms. She ended up getting a nice shiny pair of gold ones that she managed to make use of in very interesting ways. Like, who knows what she'll be able to do with that in the future. And the other big thing, the sad, unfortunate thing, was that Antark did get captured by the Lunarians. And Sensei was not able to stop that. The Lunarians had kind of a two-pronged attack thing where they didn't seem like they were really trying to capture Sensei. They just wanted to delay him enough to where they could get Antark. And it did work. But that brings me up to another thing I want to discuss, my reaction to the last episode. My reaction to that was lacking, to say the least, in my opinion. There was a few reasons for that, but the most obvious one was I misinterpreted that scene where Sensei was attacking the Lunarians. I'm just so used to Sensei showing up and just saving the day that I kind of had a bias going in my head, so I misinterpreted that scene. But of course, after I watched it a second time, it was obvious that the Lunarians got away with Antark, and unfortunately that did kind of, that misunderstanding did lessen the emotional impact of the whole scene, which did kind of bring the reaction down quite a lot. I'm sorry about that, but, I'm not the most perceptive person at the best of times, so that is kind of to be expected. Anyway, hopefully this reaction will go better. I make no promises. Either way, let's get into it. Let us begin in 3, 2, 1, play. And they do have to make us watch this again. It really does suck. Antark's only awake for the winter and has to deal with that. Although the moon would be really cold, wouldn't it? So, would it make Antark be solid all year round? In any case, in the preview, it seemed like everyone's going to wake up from their hibernation, so Fos shouldn't be too lonely after that. I am interested in looking forward to the other gem's reaction to Fos' new arms. That should be fun. Yeah, what comes after winter? Spring. When the snow melts and the gems wake up. Gold and high heels. Well, we're already getting Lunarians. And am I going crazy or does Fos look a little bit different? It's almost like what Cinnabar does with their poison. And that is really cool. But still, she seems very different. Like a lot colder. She's like a completely different person. Yeah, that wasn't weird enough. It's weird to see her actually be able to fight Lunarians. When 90% of the gems can't seem to be able to do it. This is not the Phos that I know and love. I guess it would make sense that would kind of balance out. It does make sense that Phyllis would change a lot. She has lost most of her body and been replaced. Well, you just got the new arms, so... Are we gonna see Cinnabar? This is around where she hangs out. Wow. Yeah, I figured that was the case. They were hoping to get more of her back. Yeah, I did notice. I figured that's what you're going for. Man, this is just so sad. Phos is my favorite character, so it's really difficult to see her like this. What? Is that like a hallucination? Because that is what happened last time Phos saw Antark. A hallucination / dream, whichever. I don't think we've ever seen dream sequences in this show. Well, aside from Sensei once, I guess. So I wasn't really expecting that. She's not wrong. I would like to see a gem try to cut their hair. I wonder how that exactly works. Yeah, you're usually hibernating with the others. So they should be waking up soon. Still need to apologize for. So what they call the new type Lunarians are essentially ones that make use of the gems they've stolen, is what I take. Man board has some long hair. Hey, my diamond. Oh, my jade. That might be screensh. That might be thumbnail. Yeah, you don't have to get up right away. That's Fos. And their reaction to this should be interesting. It's been a long winter. I'm still worried about if she lost her memories of Cinnabar. Yeah. I didn't mention anything in the beginning because I feel like I've mentioned that far too often, but... Yes, I knew that's where that was going eventually. You think? Summer uniforms. It really is like a school. Of course, if you think about it, they wouldn't be too attached to Aunt Ark since they're usually sleeping when she's awake. Yeah. Yeah, it's, like I said, a long winter. Those tentacle arms. Man, the looks on their faces. Like, don't put that near us. What? Never seen this before? First time they've ever hidden in fear of Fos. At least not compared to Cinnabar's poison. Oh, she finally putting powder fully over her legs. Oh, I thought it was weird that she kind of let half of it show. Of course. Yes, I do want to see them meet. Poke, poke. The long, stretchy thing. Is that Red Barrel? Yeah. How dare you change sizes? Yeah, she is taller. Don't pull on it. That's a lot of subs to read. Yes, can you? I think you should run, Fos. Wow, I didn't know she could use a shadow clone jutsu. Or a substitution jutsu, whatever you want to call it. Oh, wow. Spider-Man Fos. Well, consider you're the one that treated her like crap because she wasn't strong enough. You should be happy now. I kind of figured she would try something like that. Because she was the strongest one before. She wants to know how Fos compares. Man, you can't take on 2 diamonds. This is more attention than she bargained for. I never asked for this. It's kind of reversed. Before they were hiding behind people from Fos, and now Fos is hiding behind Sensei from them. And yeah, you would never see that much animation in a 2D. Well, you're not usually one to joke. So Fos just got out of there. I bet she's missing that speed now. Upsie. Of course everybody else wants it. You could probably lift up all of them at the same time if you wanted to. Yeah, she's gonna meet up Cinnabar soon. That's Cinnabar's music playing. And they were teasing Cinnabar, the meeting between her and Cinnabar a lot this episode, so I knew it was coming. Yeah. Next time you meet, you'll have a new torso. So she didn't completely forget. Yeah, little Miss Tsundere. Yeah. The problem is the rest of the gems want your arms. Or at least want to play with them. He was awake all winter. And bam! That's a great name for it. I'm sure she can. Fos has really come a long way since that first episode, huh? And more Lunarian attacks. And we can see the Amethyst twins again. We saw how well they did last time they fought a Lunarian. But it was a new type, to be fair. Yeah, I'm not the same Fos I was before. So yeah, so there's no backup if things go south. Yeah, it's almost exactly what happened last time. Double hug. Yeah, but that's not entirely a good thing. I loved old Fos. Partially. That hand wave animation. It's like she had two hands. Though she might have actually, because she could do that. Wow, that episode actually went by pretty quickly. I thought we were only like halfway through the episode. You know, we didn't see Cinnabar at all during winter, did we? Now that I think about it. Even though she was awake. Back to throwing foes. I've seen a lot of Bort in this preview. Shiro. So, that was the 9th episode of Houseki no Kuni. Another really good episode. Unfortunately, it does seem like Fos, she's, as she put it, she's a bit of a mess. She's went through a lot of change. Not all positive, really. Of course, some of it's kind of subjective, whether it's positive or not, but she has went through a lot of change, a lot of character development. That much is unarguable. The beginning, we saw Fos, and it was like, is this even Fos? I mean, she kind of looks like Fos, but is she? But yeah, one sensei actually called her that. It was pretty obvious. But definitely, she's definitely gotten the hang of her new ability, her new arms. Though she did kind of need Sensei's help a little bit with fighting that Lunarian at the beginning. But she was able to handle a similar situation by herself later on, so it is fine. Fos is not taking the loss of Antark all that well. She's kind of tried to change herself to be more like Antark, physically and mentally. Like, she had her hair cut to be more of her style. And she's much more serious than she was before. Taller, I think, though that's a little bit less noticeable. But I know someone commented on that. And Fos is very much trying to be a replacement for Antark. She even pretty much took over Antark's position as the winter ice flow manager. Because she was partnering with Antark during that, so it does seem fitting for multiple reasons that that responsibility would fall onto her. And when the rest of the gems woke up, their reaction to the new Fos was definitely interesting. Like, when they first saw her golden arm thing, their initial reaction was surprise, shock, a little bit of fear. And then that quickly turned into, let me play with it, let's pull it, let's test its limits, and all that. And then Fos got a lot more attention than she bargained for. Being popular is not all it's cracked up to be. Especially with Bort. Bort was the strongest of the gems, if you don't include Sensei. And she's had the position for forever, pretty much. And Fos is now a challenge for that. Fos, because Bort, near the end there, saw Fos take out a Lunarian very easily by herself. And up until now, the only one that could really do that, aside from Sensei, was Bort. So I think the reason we got so much Bort in the preview is because we're going to see a fight between the two of them. Obviously instigated by Bort. And yeah, the result of that should be interesting. It seemed like Fos had lost her memory of Cinnabar, which is something I've been anticipating for quite a while. But then it kind of backpedaled on that. It's like, no, wait, never mind. Forget I said that. I totally know she is. And then when she met up with Cinnabar later, it seemed like she remembered the promise, but I don't know. She might have just been kind of faking it. Maybe she just heard about it from someone else that she had told about it, but did she tell anyone else about it? I don't know. I'm still confused about that. But it is true that Fos has lost a lot of her body. She's lost most of her memories. It's just kind of impossible to know what she's lost and what she hasn't. Like, she forgot about Jade when she lost her legs. And they finally decided to put powder on the rest of Fos's legs. I think the reason they didn't do that initially is because the new gem parts needed to have no covering so it could properly absorb sunlight until it got, more used to it, and then they could cover it up. And the reasoning for not covering the arms makes sense, because it's just going to be stretching and stuff anyway. It'd just be a waste of the powder. And what was really funny was the segment where Sensei's like, okay, you can all play with Fos, but you gotta line up first. He's like, no, it was just a joke, but Fos had already run away. They already lined up. And little scenes like that where they all lined up, where it fully animated all of them properly getting into position, that's not the kind of thing you would get in 2D animation. So it is little moments like that where you really appreciate what good 3D animation can bring to a series. It was another really good episode. I think it's safe to say Fos has had the most character development than any other character in any other anime that I'm watching this season, at least. I'm not watching every anime this season, obviously, but I can't think of one that's had as much character development as her. And which, of course, like I said, it's not completely a good thing, because I did love Fos as she was before. But it is true that she's much more of a valuable asset to the school than she was before. So from their perspective, it's probably an objectively good thing, but but I've been rambling enough. Let me know what you thought of the anime, what you thought of my reaction in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.